Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and welcome back to Let's Play Amnesia: The Dark Descent. This is episode 9. I don't think this will be the last episode, I just get the feeling there's probably at least one more in here after this, but it could be, as we do have all of the pieces of the orb and the ingredients needed to make the tincture for... Hold that thought. The shadow is very aggressively chasing us. So I guess it actually was coming for us after all, and not just infinitely waiting. Luckily for us, the water does not actually slow Daniel down at all. When Hazel turned 15, she had lived 3 years longer than Dr. Tate had foreseen. Her parents had given up from exhaustion and decided to have her committed for permanent treatment at Canterbury Hospice, but she was still alive. She had embraced him and wished him a grand adventure in Algeria. So yeah, Hazel I was curious about, but as I expected, it was his little sister. Okay, so where are we now? We have the tincture for Agrippa, we have all of the pieces for the orb. So now, I guess the laboratory should be available soon, because that was the part I kind of spoiled. So is this the place where we got the residue? I think it is. Oh, another important diary entry. It's gonna make him pass out. Alexander became silent. He didn't know what to say. He could no longer recognize his friend sitting across the carriage.
18th of August, 1839. Tonight, we will unlock the power of the orb and ultimately banish the shadow hunting me. I feel it closing in on me and I fear for my life more than ever.
So this must be not long before.
There's a small settlement where Zimmerman, a dairy farmer, lives with his wife and 3 children.
Not really sure where the carriage sounds were coming from.
The coach went there. Our visit was unexpected, and Alexander was able to strike Zimmerman down without alerting the others.
That didn't sound like they weren't alerted, all the shrieking.
He went to take care of the farmhands. I began to look for the children. We should have more than enough prisoners to finish the ritual now.
The crying had stopped, and he could hear a whisper coming from the cell. They were up to something, and he would have to punish them. So, we killed the farmer and his whole family and all his farmhands so they could be the blood for our safety ritual. And I guess maybe Daniel didn't want to remember that afterwards. Especially when it didn't even work. Oh, you know what? This must have been the door that was blocked up on the top floor. Yeah, because this is where we came out of the prison, so... We are back where we were before. I mean, eventually this will kill you, but this seems like a very ineffectual kind of guardian. It just grows meat on the walls and hurts you if you step on it. Alright, well, we know that some of this meat we're gonna have to traverse, so I guess we have to go through here. It's the only door I can see. How did that hit me from there? I walked right past here, and it, like, lashed out at me. It'd make more sense if it had, like, little tendrils or something, but... no, it just hurts you by proximity. Oh, we still have that pipe as well. Alright, so now we should be able to help Agrippa, because we have to do that before we assemble the orb. Otherwise, I guess we'll get locked out of that part of the progress. Yeah, it's just like arbitrary damage when the meat is around. Alright, so here's the laboratorium, which is surprisingly well stocked, and also there are burning candles in here, even though it was boarded up. Alright, so there should be a burner or something in here. It's just a filthy test tube made of metal. I don't know, maybe we need one of those. Okay, what do we got here? Blood needs to be purified before putting... well, I was putting the blood into something else. Heat is streaming out of the compartment. Okay, here's a burner. Never mind. So we light that up. It's weird how these things always just seem to light themselves. Usually you gotta take a match to them. So we just cook the blood a little bit. Until it is purified vitae. Okay, incomplete tonic. So now we plop that sucker in there. Can't add ingredient as it is. Okay. Heating the gland will not extract the poison. Again, I wish we had the note, because I think it does mention how to extract the poison from the gland. Well, I think everything we need is in this room. So let's see. We got the remains. Can't add that. Everything needs to be purified, really? Okay, that we can put in there. So we can scrape off the mucus. So all we're missing now is the poison gland. How do we extract this? Beat it with a pole. Alright, well, what else do we got in here? We got this thing. Oh, there we go. We just juice it. I can't tell which way is up. Put that in there. Put that underneath. And juice away. Convenient how the exact 3 tools we needed to make this mixture were already in place. Okay, we got Weyer's tonic.
The castle trembled, and I could hear the chancel collapse. The laboratory might be accessible now.
Have you noticed all the goop going on? Oh, your thing fell over. Here, I got some for you. Drink up.
You did it.
I don't know how I'm gonna give this to you.
Now, pay attention. First, beat me the tonic, and then use the saw to remove my head. As
Wait.
the tonic begins to work, you'll be able to cut off my head without taking my life. Then, take my head and bring it with you. As you enter the gate, Alexander is opening into the inner sanctum. What do you mean? Why wouldn't you enter the gate? We can't argue now. You need to act.
But where's the saw? Maybe he'll just have one?
Quickly, off with the head.
Yeah, I don't have a saw. I've got a bar, but that's not gonna take your head off.
And then, whatever happens, get me through that gate. You're a good boy, Daniel, and I appreciate your company. But I believe you have more important things to take care of.
Well, I don't have a saw, so I'm hoping there's one in here. There we go. Bone saw. The bone saw's ready.
Hurry, Daniel. No time for sitting around.
I have 50 tinder boxes now. That should be like an achievement. Alright, saw his hat off. Make sure to keep a good grip on Agrippa's head. Alright, so we still need somewhere to assemble our orb, because he said that, oh, I can't just do this anywhere. Okay, so the only reason to come in here was to get a saw. Nothing over there. Maybe I just have to put it in the depression and glue them on one by one? Because it's not like we've seen a work table or anything just lying around. Alright, back to the Chancel. All his life he had thought that he was a good man. Terrible deeds were only committed by terrible people, like Henry Bedloe, the bully in school. But now he had seen what he himself could do. It's like most terrible people don't even realize that they're terrible people. Alright, sounds like we got a brute in here. Last time we were here, we got abducted by a lot of grunts. I don't see one right now, so... Oh. I didn't notice that was meat because it was a little off-colored. It's also really weird that when you get hit, he kind of like turns to a direction. Like he's flinching away from it. Boy, I hope he doesn't turn around. The one guard that Alexander sent, and he's just staring at a corner. I don't remember this room. Alright, don't try to grab the gears with your bare hands. I feel like we gotta break this somehow. That's why I thought we had to use the bar, because you just jam it through. So clearly we do need to jam them, but we need something bigger. So I take it Oh, no, he's not actually here anymore. I was gonna say, I take it we need something from in here. Like a rock.
Of August, 1839. I cannot believe what I have become. One of the girls escaped and I chased after her all the way upstairs. I hunted her down, and what is her life worth? How many lives can I take before I surrender my own? Sure, I would kill a murderer to save an innocent, but to kill an innocent to save myself? A cold-blooded murderer.
You have become what you condemned, Daniel. You were killing innocents all along. So yeah, that must have been the girl that we heard get stabbed repeatedly a while back. Not really seeing anything particularly machinery jamming up here. I'm also not entirely sure why we're trying to jam up the machinery, but it seems that we want to because the game's giving me hints about it. Ow! Well, that's a weird track. I think that's the first time we've had all this good since the start of the game. I was kind of thinking that might attract the attention of the brute, though. But I don't see him. Is that him over there? No. Yeah, I guess he just kind of disappeared when I went in that other room. Maybe that shut off the electrical shield? No, that's still going. It's not spinning anymore, though. Alright, so this is where I think we can assemble the orb. It just, like, changes shapes. Okay, the adhesive is stayed. I'm like, I don't have more adhesive. It's just absorbing more of itself. Like he described it. Alright. Is that also where it needs to be? The barrier is broken. Also, when we repaired that orb, would it have triggered another guardian? It certainly got the Shadow's attention. The inner sanctum. We have reached our goal. He had turned angry. It was easy to take her insolence and make her the villain in this story. But she didn't deserve to die. Even he could see that. I don't know what that switch does. But I know we don't have a lot of time. Ooh, what's this? A strange tomb. Ow. I think I put my blood in there. That's fine.
19th of August, 1839. It's not fair. I'm not to blame. I've been manipulated by that demon. He played my guilty conscience and duped me into facing the Shadow alone. That vile, conspiring man. He expects me to meet my death as he steals power beyond imagination. Alexander, I will kill you for what you have done. If only the Shadow had caught me in London or Algeria, I wouldn't have to suffer this humiliation. You made me a murderer, a monster. And now, I merely await my death. I am too weak to press on.
That anger took a lot out of him.
I can't stand as my knees fail me. I cannot see as my eyes are dressed in tears. I am as broken as the men I've tortured. If only I could wipe my fear away, as we did with them.
Oh wait, I could do exactly that. I don't know what this is, but I feel like we're still missing something for whatever it is. Okay, we can't put Agrippa's head on it. Let me just sideways crawl across the floor. Alright, I don't know what the deal with this altar is. So there's a switch on one pillar. I think that just opened one of these side doors, though. Like this one. Alright. Now we've put our blood in both altars. The door will not open. Man, Daniel's sanity is really not doing good with all this blood magic. The heavy door is sealed shut. Search for a way to open it. Well, obviously it has to do something with this ritual. I guess I just had to stand in the circle long enough. Do I need to light the candles? Well, the meat has come, so I guess we did the right thing. Ow. Yep, just tank your way through the pain. Orb chamber. Now we've really made it. If it wasn't for Alexander, he would still be innocent and be able to die so.
I was wondering if you were going to show up. I see Agrippa convinced you to run some errands. Tell me, is everything nice and clear now? Am I the villain? Good and evil. Such comforting concepts, but hardly applicable. Are you so blind that you see no good in me or evil in Agrippa?
Well, I did just meet him, so I don't know much about him. I guess now we just need to kill him. Hit it with a pipe. I'm like trying to just shove it over. I think we need a rock or something. Hey, do you got any loose rocks in here, Alexander? one of these tiles we can pull out. I mean, why do I still have the iron bar? I guess we do still have the crank as well, so it could just be something that I don't have a use for. What do I do with you? The portal has not opened yet. Just throw Agrippa's head at him. Can't leave, so our solution has to be in here.
A whole other world. Oh, isn't it beautiful? I can finally return home.
Denial. Alright, quickly, just punt Agrippa's head in there.
But I am soft and you won't be able to enter. No! You fool! You have ruined us!
And thus, we were both consumed by the shadow. Where Agrippa gets to be ahead.
Do you see him, Weyer? He deserves so much more. Please, help him. I know you can.
Because I'm thinking the alternative is that Alexander would have gone through the portal and we still would have gotten killed by the shadow. So at least here, you know, Agrippa's putting in a good word for us.
Don't worry, Daniel. It will be all right.
Don't worry, I have a friend on the other side. Alright. I guess that was the final episode after all. Well, so after, what, 10 years, I finally got around to playing this, and I'm glad I did. It really does feel like another frictional game in more of a direct way than Soma did. Because Soma was good, and the story was good in Soma. It's the kind of thing you kind of end up thinking about afterwards. But it didn't feel as much like a frictional game. And this very much did. This felt like, hey, it's Penumbra in another setting. And I've heard to an extent that Amnesia Rebirth is also like that, because, you know, it's out tomorrow, so there's already reviews up for it. And I'm looking forward to that, because, of course, that is what I'm going to be going straight into next. If you're wondering what was next, Dead Space 2 is still ongoing. I haven't even finished that yet, though I'm like 12 episodes in at the time of recording this. I started recording Dead Space back in, like, July, so that probably won't take too long, but I want to get into Amnesia Rebirth right away. And then next week, after that, Ghost Runner and Little Hope both come out, and I want to do an LP of both of those as well, so probably going to end up with 3 LPs ongoing at the same time. But at some point, I also want to go back and do a playthrough of Penumbra Requiem, which is the kind of epilogue game to Penumbra Overture and Black Plague. The reason I didn't do it back when I did those LPs, and why I've never played it, is because I had heard that it's kind of just a random collection of puzzle rooms more than anything else, and didn't really continue the story. Turns out that's only kind of half true, and it does continue the story, it just doesn't really conclude it in any satisfying way. So, obviously for people who didn't watch or play the original Penumbra games, that's going to be a very confusing LP, but, like, it's not hard to go and do that either way. So, yeah, we're going to go to Requiem. I got a up-res texture pack for it. And after that, I want to maybe do Penumbra Necrolog, which is a fan Penumbra game that's apparently very good, made in the Amnesia engine, which even Frictional themselves have kind of supported. Why does it say ODN 314 at the bottom? So yeah, I would like to do Requiem and then probably Necrologue. There is also Justine for this. I think I am going to do that, but not right away. Just because it is kind of its own self-contained story, so it's not essential for the lore or anything. It just sounds very peculiar and kind of meta in just the basic description of what it is. But yeah, I'll get to that eventually. So probably Rebirth first. But yeah, there's some good horror stuff on the immediate horizon. I mean, Ghost Runner is not horror, but it'll be pretty fun, I think. Until then, I've been Shadefire. Thanks for joining me as I made my dark descent, and I hope I'll see you with the Rebirth. Take care, everyone.